Welcome to Good Times RVing. Let's talk about freshwater tank sanitation. I typically do this every quarter if I'm using the RV or not. Typically the water's sitting in there, so got to get it out and clean. I like to keep my tank at least halfway full at all times. Of course, we have to pick our days here in Florida. The day I tried to do this, it was raining like crazy. So we just reset, have a cup of coffee, just relax, and we get this thing done. So, first things first, empty the freshwater tank. Completely empty that. I drain the hot water tank as well, and I release the pressure before I take the anode rod out. Release the pressure, and then let that hot water tank drain. Close pressure relief, and I use the original plug. I kept that in my toolbox to close that hot water tank off. And then we get ready. We'll remove that filter housing, and then we'll take the filter out. That filter was ready to be changed. But to take that filter out, and then I put in Clorox. Now this stuff is really, when they say concentrated, they're not kidding. This is strong stuff. I use a quarter cup per every 15 gallons. So if you have a 60-gallon tank, you use a cup. I put that right in the filter housing. And then when I go to fill the tank, I use a pre-filter with a stand. And then I run that into a water softener. And then ultimately into the coach. And I fill the freshwater tank with about 60 gallons. And then, once that's full, it takes a while. I'll run the faucets, the shower, the fridge water, until you can smell the chlorine. Then I wait 2 or 3 hours because I do this every quarter. It doesn't really get that bad. Other people, if they do it annually, they probably want to wait a little longer or even a day to let that stuff really soak in. But for me, 2 or 3 hours seems to be enough. I just go to lunch. I have this done. I go to lunch. Have a nice lunch for a couple hours. Drink some water. And do other chores. Then drain the freshwater tank. Drain the hot water heater. Drain all the water out. It's about 10 gallons. And when all the fresh water is empty, then, and only then, I'll start putting stuff back together. My tape for the anode rod, wrap it around the anode rod, and I'll install that. You notice I say, counterclockwise. You want to make sure you don't unwind it when you twist it in. So don't forget to close the freshwater tank valve. The valve here is open. You don't want to close that. I install a new filter, and then fill the tank up. This takes a while, but I fill it right to the top because I want to flush all this chlorine out. Then I run the faucets, the shower, the fridge, until I get no smell of chlorine. It's important. Got to get the cat out of the sink. She likes to hang out there. So make sure I get her out of there before we start running water. She's pretty persistent. So, run all the water, no smell of chlorine, you're done. And you may want to drain the freshwater tank and refill it with fresh water, depends. And then what I'll do is I'll come around. Luckily at my storage facility we have a dump, so I bring it around and we just dump the waste tanks out, and that way everything's all nice and clean and fresh. Pretty straightforward process. Not much of not very difficult. Just takes a fair amount of time. Hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully you found it useful. Enjoy your RV. We're ready for the next adventure.